Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you're new around here, my name is Aiden, and as you can see from the title, for the very final time this year, we will be doing my top 10 best upcoming sneakers. It's hard to believe that we're already into December. This year has flown by incredibly quicker than any other year I can remember, but even with that, we still have lots of incredible releases to take a look at. So with all of that said, I don't want to hold you guys in suspense. Sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get straight into this video. So no messing about, just getting straight into this list, starting out with our very first release. So first up we have the Adidas Forum Low, the Grinch, scheduled to be releasing on the 1st of December for £99. Now I will be completely honest, I really didn't expect this shoe to be coming out at all. Now I did recently see these up for raffle on the 7 Store website, and as soon as I saw them, being I'm a massive lover of Christmas, I immediately entered that raffle as soon as I saw it. Now the last time I could think of a Grinch release was the Kobe Grinches. They were just incredible. They just sold out incredibly quickly, as was to be expected, being that it was a Kobe release. But even still, I'm fully expecting that the Grinch Adidas Forum Lows are going to be pretty highly sought after as well. Whether you're a fan of the Grinch, Christmas, or even the Adidas Forum Low, I feel like a lot of people are going to be really interested in these. I think the shoe itself is definitely a head turner. It's definitely going to stand out. And the Grinch details that come along with the shoe itself, from the box to the tissue paper to the attachments that you can actually attach to the laces. I also think there's some insole detailing as well. And there's just so much to love about this shoe. I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the Adidas Forum Low. We did pick up the Home Alones last year, but I never got around to doing the review. Christmas time is a pretty busy time in my household, so definitely want to rectify that mistake. Definitely want to get these in hand for the collection, but also to be able to bring you guys that review. So with that, I'm fully expecting that this shoe is going to be highly sought after. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in it, but even still, I'm not sure if it's going to sell out. It may do, it may not do. You're going to kind of have to watch this space. And when it comes to resale value, I personally would suggest that I don't think it's going to be going for incredible numbers. So do enter the raffles if you really want them like I am. But at the same time, don't go crazy for it, because I feel like if you do want it, you should hopefully be able to get it. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. Next up we have the Night Dunk Low Syracuse, also scheduled to be releasing on the 1st of December for a retail price of £100. Alongside the Syracuse, we will also be getting a Kentucky colourway, also releasing on the 1st, again for that retail price of £100. To be honest, I'm much more of a fan of the Syracuse colourway, so that's the one we'll be focusing on for this video. Now, I do remember that they were doing exclusive access for these, but I've seen raffles on Size, I think I've seen them on Foot Patrol, and a few different other retailers as well. So it's a little bit of a weird release. I'm not sure what the situation is with them, whether the shoes have been delayed or whatever the situation was. I'm pretty sure that these shoes have released already. Now when it comes to dunks, it's a little bit up and down. A lot of them are still selling out, and some of them are still getting a pretty high resale price to them as well. I'm really not sure how to read this one. Both the colorways are really clean, everyday wear, easy to wear. But whether or not they're actually going to resell for a crazy amount of money, I guess only time will tell. I'm sure there are a lot more people out there that are into dunks a lot more than I am that will be able to tell you more about it. And again, as I've just said, I haven't actually seen it on the Sneakers app. I don't think it will be releasing on Sneakers either. So I would recommend heading over to the Source Suppliers website and checking out the raffles guide. That'll have a list of all the available raffles for both of the colorways, depending which one you're going for. I would definitely recommend to enter as many raffles as possible, because I can definitely see this shoe selling out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does have a pretty hefty resale price point as well. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. Next up we have the Nocta Air Force 1 Certified Loverboy, also scheduled to be releasing on the 1st of December for a retail price of £125. Again, this is another one that's not currently up on the Sneakers app as I'm recording this video, but I have already started to see those raffles going live. Now this is a pretty contentious one. I'm sure that some people are really excited about it, but from my perspective, I'm really quite confused as to what's actually going on, because, you know, it's a higher price point than your normal Air Force 1, and minus a couple of very small and insignificant details, it's pretty much just a standard triple white Air Force 1. The reason I'm including it in this video is because it's Drake, because it's Nocta, and because I'm sure a lot of people are really excited about it. But for me personally, I'm a little bit confused. I feel like overall, unless it's coming with very high-end premium materials, which I highly doubt at the price point of £125, I really don't see the big appeal for it. I'm just me, so maybe my opinion doesn't really matter to you guys, which is absolutely fine. And if you're really excited for it, that's really good. But for me personally, I feel like this is probably one of the more easier passes throughout the entire month. Now the raffles already started to go live at Foot Patrol and a few different places as well, so again, check out the raffles guide on the Soul Suppliers website. When it comes to the release, I can fully expect that this shoe could easily sell out, but at the same time I could also see it sitting as well because of some of the other releases that we are getting. So if you really want it, put your footwork in. If you're kind of on the fence and you're not sure about it, maybe hold your horses and see how you get on. But again, I'm not going to commit myself. I'm going to firmly sit on the fence and say this could easily sell out. It could easily be sitting. So it's kind of one of those ones you just have to watch this space. So now that we got all of the December 1st releases taken care of, just moving on to the next shoe up on our list, which is actually a collaboration between Jordan Brand and Soulfly for the Air Jordan 13 in the Celestine Blue colorway, if I've said that correctly. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 2nd of December for a retail price of £205. Pretty hefty price point if you're asking me. Now, when it comes to the release itself, I know absolutely nothing about Soulfly. I know none of the backstory about the shoe, so I'm going to be talking about this simply based on how the shoe actually looks. And the shoe looks absolutely incredible. From the blues to the age detailing to the different material choices that they're actually using. Based on the pictures I've seen, it definitely seems like it's a complete shake-up to what we normally see with most Jordan 13s. And if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of that model, so this definitely piqued my interest. I do have to give a shout out to Michael, you know who you are. He reached out to me, sent me a picture of these shoes. I didn't really know too much about it, so if it wasn't for him, it probably wouldn't be making this list. But this is definitely one on the radar that I am looking to pick up this month for the personal collection. But as I've already said for certain other releases on this list, it's currently not available on the Sneakers app just yet. Now the raffles are starting to be rolled out slowly. I've seen it on the Foot Patrol Launches app and it is also available on End as well. So I do fully expect by the time this video goes live on the 1st of December, it should already be available up on the Sneakers app. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but just based on how I'm feeling, it should hopefully be up just in time. When it comes to the release, I can very easily see this shoe selling out, although being that it's a Jordan 13, they're not the most popular model, so it could go the other way and end up sitting. Gonna kind of have to watch this space. If you want it, do make sure to enter the raffles. Do make sure to keep checking the Sneakers app because again, this shoe could very much sell out. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. Next up we have the Air Jordan 6 in the metallic silver colorway. Also scheduled to be releasing on the 2nd of December, this time for a retail price of £180. Now the first time we actually saw these was actually on the upcoming look for winter releases by Jordan Brand. Sneakers app has been doing this every 3 months and it is probably for me one of the more underwhelming upcoming releases by Jordan. I just feel like he's not doing enough to warrant the 180 price point. It is very similar to what we did see with the DMPs back in 2020, I believe was the last time we saw them. But the DMPs have a little bit more history and a little bit more significance being as the part of previous packs. And I just feel like the metallic silver, although it's very similar, just isn't doing enough for me. Now with that said, it is still a very clean colorway, very nice for this time of year, and the Jordan 6 is one of those timeless classics you can never really go wrong with. You have the silver accents, you have the Jumpman and 23 on the heel, and overall, it's not a bad release whatsoever. But it's also not a release that I feel like I need to add to my own personal collection. So if you want to get your hands on a pair, I feel like if you want them, don't enter all the raffles. It should be available on the Sneakers app now. The raffles are already listed, but don't go crazy on them because if you do want it, you should hopefully be able to get it pretty easy. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. Next up, we have the Air Jordan 12 in the black taxi colorway, scheduled to be releasing on the 3rd of December for a retail price of £180. And again, like we said with the metallic silver, this was also another one of those ones which was debuted on the Sneakers app for the upcoming look for winter. Now when I first saw him, I will be honest, I really wasn't feeling it too much. I just want to see an OG release of the taxis, and we've had the royalties and now we're having the black taxis. But for me personally, I just want an OG taxi release so I can add them to the collection.
Alrighty then.
But with that said, the longer it's like been left and the more I've seen like proper official release images, the more I've kind of come around to the idea of these. I feel like this time of year, especially in the UK, it's rainy season, it's muddy season, it's just generally awful weather from now until February. I feel like if you are looking for that good hard-wearing shoe, you honestly can't go wrong with these. Jordan 12s are always very well made, always have pretty decent quality materials, and they're pretty easy to dress as well, being of a mostly black and gold colorway. Like I've said for a few other releases on this list, I am personally expecting that this shoe is going to be readily available. I fully expect it's going to be available at a bunch of different retailers, and by the time this video goes live, I do expect that it will be available on the Sneakers app as well. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. Next up we have the Air Jordan 1 Low in the white, grey and blue colourway, scheduled to be releasing on the 6th of December for a retail price of £110. Probably one of the more underrated releases, even though it's not come out yet. I haven't seen a single person talking about these. When it comes to Jordan 1 lows, they are very much a case of they're just there. They never seem to be releasing. They're just always readily available. I feel like only certain Jordan 1 lows really garner that much attention, and I normally don't include them in my list. But with this one, I just felt like it was a very clean colorway. Something that I personally am actually interested in picking up. The last time we picked up a pair of Jordan 1 lows was the Bulls colorway. Absolutely love them. It's completely changed my entire opinion about the Air Jordan 1. So I definitely feel like I do want to start to add a few more into the collection just to give me a little bit of a different option in terms of like a rotation. At the minute, I just have the Bulls and the Lost and Found. So I definitely want to add some different colour schemes to match up with some different outfits. And for £110, especially as we approach Christmas, you definitely can't argue with a bargain. So the reason I'm including this list is just for me, basically. I feel like it's a really nice shoe, but not a hype one whatsoever. Now, if like myself, you are interested in picking up a pair of Jordan 1 lows this Christmas, again, a very clean colorway. Don't expect it to sell out. I expect it's going to be available at pretty much every single major retailer. And for this one, I'm kind of expecting it's going to be available on the Nike app instead of Sneakers. So if you want it like I do, just keep checking all the regular places. But I do fully expect that this shoe is going to be readily available. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. No December list would be complete without a Jordan 11. So next up we have the Air Jordan 11 Cherry, finally scheduled to be getting a full worldwide release on the 10th of December for a retail price of £180. For those of you that don't know, this shoe is also going to be releasing in full family sizing. So if you're looking to get the kids, the missus, yourself, and do a full fit pick, this is definitely a really great pair to do it with.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, for me personally, I feel like this shoe was released 10 times over. People were getting them earlier on in the year. Then there was that issue with the stolen stock. And then there was exclusive access. I feel like I've seen a bunch of reviews on these already. And it's just one of those things that happens every single year. There's always a little bit of contention with the Jordan 11 release. Over the last couple of years, I personally picked up the Jubilees and the Cool Greys. But I will be honest with you guys, the Jordan 11 just doesn't suit me or my style, so I've actually sold those. And I will be begrudgingly passing on these, even though I do think it is a pretty nice colourway. I don't love the red pattern leather, I will be honest. There's something about it that makes it almost look like bowling shoes. But outside of that, I feel like the way certain people are styling them, I think it is a really nice look. And especially if you are a fan of Jordan 11s, Christmas time, you know, you can't really go wrong. It's just one of those things that just works well every time. Now, for everyone who is actually after a pair, I'm fully expecting that this shoe is going to be readily available. They're readily available every single year. And even when they do eventually sell out, in the short term, the prices aren't too bad. It's just a case of the longer you leave it, especially after that year mark, the prices do seem to spike quite quickly. So if you aren't able to get it in December because it's quite an expensive time of year for a lot of people, don't worry about it. Try and get it in the new year as quickly as you possibly can. The longer you leave it, the higher the prices will be. But in the short term, if you are looking to pick these up for retail, the raffles are already live. It's already available on Sneakers. And in my personal opinion, I can see it selling out, just maybe not straight away. So just moving on swiftly to the next shoe up on our list. Next up we have another very highly anticipated release. So next up we have the New Balance 990 V6, finally scheduled to be releasing on the 15th of December for a retail price of £210. Now I know that you New Balance collectors have been waiting eagerly for this shoe to actually release, and even though I'm somewhat of a fan of New Balance, I generally don't pick up that many because the price points are always a little bit up there for me. But even still, I think this V6, especially in this grey colourway, is definitely on the radar. Not sure if it would be something for the personal collection, but considering how long a lot of you guys have been waiting for it, I would very much like to get them and do the review on the channel. Now, I personally am a fan of the 990 range, in particular the V3s. I do like some of the other models, but the V3, in my personal opinion, is the best of the lot. And I would probably say it's still better than the V6, but hard to say that without actually having seen the shoe in person. Based on the pictures I've seen of this V6 colourway, the fact it's coming in that, that grey look, which, to be honest, not many people do better than New Balance. There is definitely a lot to look forward to when it does come to this release. New Balance always create incredibly well put together shoes with great materials. It's a great colourway, it's easy to wear, and I'm sure it's incredibly comfortable. So it's ticking a lot of boxes, I'm sure, for a lot of people. For me, I feel like I can easily pass on it, but at the same time, if I get it, I wouldn't be too mad at myself. I will be honest, I'm not entirely sure if it is going to sell out. I would be quite surprised if it did, but at the same time, New Balance is definitely getting a lot more attention these days, so it could very easily sell out. So if you want it, make sure to put your footwork in, but at the same time, I'm just going to say, I can easily see this shoe being pretty accessible. And last but by no means least, we have reached our very final release, which I'm sure some people will say is saving the best for last. So next up we have the Air Jordan 2 in the Chicago colorway, scheduled to be releasing on the 30th of December for a rumoured retail price of £210. And this for me is probably the most highly anticipated Jordan 2 release of the entire year. Even though we've seen a bunch of great Jordan 2 releases, from collabs with Amamonier to Union to a bunch of really nice general release colorways, nothing really comes close to the Chicago's. Just seeing that colorway, the fact that they're trying to get it back to this OG specs from when it initially released. When they did talk about it on the upcoming release for Jordan Brand on the Sneakers app, it was definitely one of the ones that I was most excited about, and it definitely got my attention a lot more than a lot of the other releases. So even though there's a couple of other ones on this list I would be looking to pick up, if I only ended the month with the Chicago 2s, you definitely wouldn't be hearing a single complaint from me. This is the must-cop for the month. Even whether or not it's something I would wear that often, I feel like as a collector of Jordans, just having it in the collection would be something for me. So definitely really excited about this one. Really can't wait to actually see what they're like in person. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I can actually pick up a pair for myself. If you want to get your hands on them as well, I do fully expect this is going to be one of the hardest releases to get this month. From raffles to Sneakers app to resellers, I feel like a lot of people are going to be really excited for these. So this, unlike a lot of the other releases, is something you're going to have to work pretty hard to get. Make sure you enter every single raffle, try your luck on Sneakers, and good luck to everyone who's trying to get a pair, because these are absolutely incredible. And just like that, we've wrapped up my top 10 best upcoming sneakers for the month of December. I'd love to get your guys' opinion on this list as well. Let me know if there are any other shoes that you feel like should have been included. I'm sure there's a bunch of other releases that are scheduled to come out in December but haven't been confirmed. So this is going to be a really exciting month. I did want to close out this video by saying a huge thank you to everybody who actually has supported this channel over this last year. The growth we've seen from the views to subscribers and just the community as a whole, I really can't thank you guys enough. We set out to hit 3,000 subscribers. We've done that. We set out to hit 500,000 views. We're about to do that. And just from a personal standpoint, just seeing how it's progressing and seeing how you guys are interacting, not only with myself, but with each other, honestly, I really can't thank you guys enough. And for anyone who stuck around to the end, this is for you guys in particular, who are always supporting, who are always there to help. So again, honestly, you guys are incredible, and I really hope you guys have an incredible Christmas. Content might start to slow down. I am looking forward to Christmas with the family, so I will try and keep you guys updated with reviews and top 10s and all the best things that we do at the end of the year. But if there is a couple of weeks where it goes a little bit silent, just know that I'll be enjoying it with the family. And that's pretty much all I have to really say at this point. This video has gone on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So again, huge thank you to everyone who stuck around to this point in the video. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one. Peace.